Hello, my name is Mr. Brooks, and this is my school. Well, it's not really my school. I've just been working here for so long, I sort of consider it mine anyway. My job here? I collect garbage. Well, actually, I collect things that people don't really want anymore. You know, you'd be surprised. There's often a story behind some of the things these kids leave. Take this, for instance. Somebody got caught skateboarding in the wrong place. Is this a failed science project? A VCR manual? Huh. Baloney. Figures. And would you look at this? A Bible. Kind of sad, too. When you think about all the things these kids are going through, trying to maintain relationships and getting to class on time and all. With all the things that these kids are going through, you'd think this would be the last thing you'd find in the garbage. Oh, this belonged to Lisa Caldwell. Now that was a really awesome girl. Me and her used to talk all the time. She'd talk about pretty much anything and everything. And pretty much everybody liked her. Except for this one kid. I'd like to tell you a story about some of the things that happened to Lisa and her friends at this school.
Judy, how's it going? What you reading? A book? How's school going? Just great. I just love tromping through the halls, fighting the crowds, trying to get to class before the stupid school bell rings. I can think of only one thing I like better. Being somewhere else.
Hey, Squirrel! Come back here. You know you're not supposed to skate the halls. Give it back. Give it back, please. Nah.
How's PE going? I don't know what I'd do without it. Oh. I get to run around in circles all day, chasing balls, pretending to be coordinated. Sweat seeps from every pore in my body. My makeup runs all over my face, and when it's all over, I look like the bride of Frankenstein. What could be better?
I know what you mean. I'm eating in the cafeteria today. Would you like to come along?
What are they having?
I suppose the usual.
Baked rubber again? Some of the stuff they serve belongs in a toxic waste dump. No thanks.
Hi, girls.
Hi, Mr. Brooks. How's it going?
I'm doing just fine. How about y'all?
Same as always.
And you, Judy?
Same as usual.
I can see that. Well, I'll see y'all later, all right?
You know, I was just reading in my Bible the other day, and I found that...
Look, Lisa, you know I'm not into religion.
Oh, I know, but if you ever just want to talk sometime...
Yeah, right.
Guess I'll see you around.
Man, looks like you could use some help.
Thanks.
You're new here, aren't you?
Yeah, how'd you guess?
I know all the kids around here, including the new ones. Name's Mr. Brooks.
I'm Katie Smith.
Line. Where are you headed?
My locker. And in my first hour class, let's see, it's right here.
Let me see. All right. Your locker is 492, and your first class is history. That's down that way. All right. Your second class is biology. That's the other way. Then you have philosophy. Yes, there it is. And then you have lunch. Just follow the other kids, and they will get you to where you need to go. All right? I'll catch up with you later. See how you do. Katie, is everything all right?
Oh yeah, everything's just great. I'm new, I'm lost, and now I'm late. Everything is just perfect.
Well, Katie, most of these kids here are actually in the same boat as you in one way or another.
Yeah, right.
No, seriously, if you look around, you will find that these kids are looking for the same things that you are in a lot of ways.
What do you mean?
Let me put it to you this way. Other than getting to class on time and finding your locker, are there other things that you want out of school?
Well, yeah.
Like making good grades,
Yeah.
fitting in, learning something about life, maybe getting a couple of answers in the process.
That'd be nice.
Well, like I said, Katie, you're just like everyone else, just a bit newer at it. Got plenty of company. Also, have you talked to Lisa Caldwell yet? I'm sorry, what's my next line, ma'am? Get a little bit tongue twisted today, I'm sorry.
You said you.
I remember, yes ma'am, I remember now. And one more thing, Katie. If you need something or just need to talk, come find me. I'm always available.
Thanks, Mr. Brooks. I'll do that. Oh,
Hey, where are you going?
I'm on my way to history.
Looks like you're a little late.
Well, I'd be a little less late if you get out of my way.
Sorry. I'm Jason Holmes.
I'm Katie Smith.
Glad to make your acquaintance, Katie Smith.
I need to get going.
Hey, I heard you talking to Brooks about finding that stuff. That's something I can help you with. Or at least, I can keep you from looking in the wrong places. Not like Brooks.
But Mr. Brooks seemed okay.
Brooks don't know nothing about nothing. Look, if you want to know what's what, you come see me.
I'll keep that in mind.
You guys are chatting it up.
All right, class, let's get going. I'm substituting for Mr. Henry today. You there in the back, please take your seat. Now, if you all can turn to page 235, we'll start the...
Teacher, I have a question.
My name is Miss Hickok. What is it?
Why do we study history?
You need it to graduate.
Seriously.
History teaches us about people, the events that affected them, and how they dealt with the situations they encountered.
That's why we go to the movies.
Right.
So, tell me some things you've learned from the movies.
Well, take Gone with the Wind, for example. Doesn't it tell a lot about what some people in the South had to go through during the Civil War?
And now, we learn from the Civil War. Can I redo that? That was so bad.
Well, take Gone with the Wind, for example. Doesn't it tell a lot about what some people in the South had to go through during the Civil War?
Today we learn about the Civil War as seen through the eyes of Scarlett O'Hara and Rhett Butler.
Oh, Rhett, I just don't know what I'm going to do. Father is dead. There's no money for the taxes on Tara. The
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a
I'll grant that movies may help, but they leave a lot out. Take the Vietnam War, for example. What have you learned about it from the movies?
And now from Vietnam, Forrest Gump.
My name's Forrest. Forrest Gump.
Okay, Gump, remember, keep your head down, your rifle clean, and more important than anything else, keep your socks dry.
Yes, Lieutenant Dan.
Put your hand down. You want to get me shot or something?
Well, my mama always did say that life was like a box of chocolates. You never did know what you were going to get.
My point exactly. You need more than a reel of celluloid to tell you about the real world. If you want to master the world you live in, you need to study how people lived in the past. History teaches how people dealt with their problems, how they coped, how they kept their hope when they faced despair. We learn from the past helps us live in the world today.
Miss Hickok,
Yes?
do you think people really learn from the past?
Of course. What do you think?
It seems to me that history repeats itself quite a bit. I mean, people still struggle with the same old problems and try to solve them in the same old ways. Doesn't that mean that we don't learn from the past?
Well, we can learn by observing the mistakes others make. When we see how they fared and how they erred, we can change our plans and goals so we don't do the same. Take the sinking of the Titanic, for example.
As we turn our attention to the Titanic, we learn about Mr. Andrews, the ship's designer, as he discovers a mistake he has made.
Mr. Andrews, I count only 16 lifeboats. That's not enough for all the passengers.
Ha! Don't worry, Rose. We'll never need them. The Titanic is unsinkable.
Nice bring ahead!
Hoops!
And what did people learn from this?
Count the lifeboats before you board the ship?
Yeah, that'd be it.
Miss Hickok,
Yes?
so are you saying that we only learn from others' mistakes?
Of course not. We learn by studying the successes of others. History teaches us what happens when people work hard to achieve their goals, work to make life easier, or do things that end up for our good. Like Alexander Graham Bell's invention of the telephone.
And now, here's a real-life story from the laboratory of Alexander Graham Bell and his assistant, Thomas A. Watson. Ah, here they are. Thomas A. Watson.
Here, Watson, take this into the other room. Oh, darn it, I got battery acid all over. Watson, come here, I want you.
I hear you, boss. Right here.
It works, we did it!
Just what I mean. That story is inspirational, and it comes right from our history books, not from the movies. Yes?
There's one thing that troubles me.
What's that?
If history is about the good things that people have done in the past, why is the Bible not a part of our studies?
What exactly do you mean?
The Bible is the history of how people changed for the better because of their commitment to God. It also tells about what God did in the world and how that helps us today. That's all a part of history too, but it's a part we don't seem to talk about much.
Well,
Wait,
You had one? My bad. Let's redo that. Now let's just redo it.
That's all a part of history too, but it's a part we don't seem to talk about much.
well. Don't forget the test, you'll need to be prepared for it.
Lisa, you're Lisa, right? Yes, I'm Katie. Katie Smith. Nice to meet you, Katie. You haven't been in class before, have you? No, I'm new here. Well, glad to know you, Katie. Hey, I thought it was cool what you brought up in class about the Bible. What do you mean about God being a part of our history? Just that. What God did is not a figment of our imagination. It's also not something somebody just made up. It really happened.
But isn't God just some issue of religion? I mean, isn't it up to each one of us what to believe and not believe about him?
Well, I base my beliefs on the historical evidence of what God did, like sending his son Jesus into the world, his life and death and resurrection. It's not true because I believe it. I believe it because it's true.
So it's a matter of history.
Voila! Where are you headed?
Biology.
So am I. I'll catch up with you in a bit. I've got to pick up something before class.
So how'd history go?
Class was okay. Things just started getting interesting when the bell rang.
Oh, yeah?
We were talking about the importance of studying history when Lisa brought up God's place in it.
Lisa. Figures.
What do you mean?
Lisa and Brooks are like two peas in a pod. You won't learn anything from them. Look, if you want real answers, come see me.
Sure.
All right, so I'm practically walking backwards towards that. Hey, watch where you going, freak.
What'd you call me?
Come to a freak. Want to make something of it? All right, hey, calm down. We'll deal with them later.
Jerks.
Okay, this is the science scene. So you guys need to get rid of the chairs.
Now, students, as you can see, our experiment has been successful. With the right elements and an appropriate environment, and of course a little bit of help from us, we have simulated the creation of life itself. What you're looking at here is a group of microorganisms. The ancestors of this life form lived a long time ago. An organism like this is the ancestor of life as we know it today.
Did it live in a petri dish?
No, Crystal, I don't think that they had petri dishes back then, but with all the volcanic activity, electric storms, and things like that, there might have been some natural glass lying around.
Cool.
You see, life began in a primordial pool, much like what we see here.
Oops.
Life began in an environment similar to this. Their first forms, of course, were simple. Bacteria, amoebas, and other single-celled organisms. These later evolved into higher life forms. Birds, reptiles, mammals, fish, and, of course, us. Lisa!
I'm sorry.
It took millions and millions of years to evolve as we know it today. And what's really amazing is the fact that it all happened by chance. A cosmic accident, if you will. Sort of like rolling the dice. The numbers came out right and voila, here we are. Lisa! What are you doing?
I'm trying to make a log cabin.
That doesn't make sense.
me see if I can.
I'm so sorry. Where was the one that- Let me see if I can help you. There. Now that's how you make a log cabin.
Lisa, can you tell me what the point of all this was?
I was just thinking, why is it we don't try to build a log cabin by simply shaking a box of Lincoln logs?
Everyone knows that you have to take the logs out of the box to make a log cabin.
Why is that?
It takes someone with smarts to build it.
What if I just shook that box for a few hours, a few days, or maybe even a year or two? Couldn't it happen accidentally?
It would never happen. Not in a million years. All you get is a bunch of sawdust.
You're right, but what's easier, to build a log cabin or to create life?
Duh, the log cabin.
And what did it take to build the log cabin?
A builder.
When we see a building like this, we know it didn't get here by chance. We know someone built it. So why do we believe that something much more difficult to create, something infinitely more complex as life, somehow happened by accident?
Because, Lisa, it's in the textbook. Now, can we please get back to class?
Continue.
We will continue this tomorrow. Yes, we will.
Can I help you with that?
Sure.
What you did in class was pretty cool.
Thanks.
But it sounds like you don't agree with Mr. Fisk that we got here by chance.
You're right. I don't. I believe that we were created by God, that He made us unique and distinct, different than all the other creatures. I also believe that He made us in His image. That makes us pretty special. God knows about the difficulties that we have in life. That's why He sent His Son Jesus to guide us, to show us the way.
Where'd you learn all that?
In the Bible. The Bible is the history of God's involvement in the world, what He did and how that helps us live in the world He created. What do you have next hour?
Philosophy.
So do I.
What's it like?
Sometimes we have some pretty heated discussions.
Well, let's get going, or we'll be late.
Jason. Jason! You've already missed a part of class. Go on and take your seat. Okay, class. Let's return to our discussion. What are some decisions we can make when trying to make a moral decision? Mark. Matthew.
Do what feels right?
Okay. So, if you see someone skateboard in the hallway and you feel like taking it, that's all right?
Maybe?
Okay. If someone takes your skateboard, that's okay too.
No way.
Maybe we should think about that. Next. Marquita.
Obey the law.
Good point. Next. Crystal.
How about observing what others do, then when they screw up, don't do the same thing?
Okay. Observe others.
Well, more than just observe others. We can learn a lot from seeing what works for others and what doesn't.
Judy.
Why? We could ask our parents to do it, but I don't think we'd learn much.
Actually, in a few years, you'll wish you paid more attention. Kristen.
How about studying what the great philosophers of the world think?
Teacher's pet.
Now, Judy, I'm here to observe what others think. And Kristen, you might get an A with that thinking. Lisa?
There are no options.
Jason?
That doesn't make sense. If we don't have options, then how do we make choices?
That's the whole point. You don't have a choice.
Okay, well then what does one do when one does not have a choice, Jason?
You do what you gotta do, Judy.
All right, calm down. We'll have enough time to debate this later.
That's what you think.
That is a terrible delivery. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. What's up? He said doesn't speak.
Oh, you're asking me this time?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
I'll say no lie. Calm down. We'll have enough time to debate this later.
That's what you think.
That is enough, Jason. I think I saw Lisa's hand earlier.
What about consulting our owner's manual?
Okay. I'm not sure I understand.
Well, let's say you want to program your VCR, but you're not sure how. Where do you turn to for help?
Duh, I'd ask my boyfriend to do it.
Seriously. Would this help?
Sure.
Okay. How does this tie into our discussion?
If we want to make good moral decisions, we need a moral guide. Here's the one I use.
It's the Bible. What's your point?
God knows us inside and out. He's the expert on what's right and what's wrong, what works in life and what doesn't. So if we want to make good moral decisions, why not read the book by the one who knows us best? Why not consult our owner's manual?
There is no God. The Bible is just a bunch of fairy tales.
The fool says in his heart, there is no God.
You calling me a fool?
Those are God's words, not mine. Straight from the book of Psalms. Only a fool would deny he exists.
That's
We'll
enough.
see about that.
Jason. Jason! Lisa, those comments weren't called for.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Lunchtime, I'm starved.
Lisa, you know I share your beliefs, but you have to be careful, especially with Jason.
What's wrong? I thought you scored some points back there.
I got a little carried away with Jason. I wasn't trying to score a point. I was trying to make a point. God knows about our struggles in life. That's why he sent his son Jesus to guide us, to show us the way. Here, take a look for yourself. Start with John. It's the 4th book in the New Testament. We can catch up later and we can talk.
Everybody should grab their own chairs. Remember, it's not just Luke.
See any place to sit?
Nope, packed as usual.
Guess it's the bench.
Again? Ew, gross. Lon.
Well, at least they got the milk right.
Well, at least I got the milk right. What'd you get?
Baloney. Again. I hate this stuff. What did you think of class today?
Which one?
Philosophy?
Jason sure was creepy.
Oh, yeah, I know.
But Lisa's the one that really bugs me. I wish he'd hush up about all that God and Bible stuff.
Come on, Judy. She's pretty cool most of the time. Maybe it's time you lighten up on her a little.
Yeah, right.
How's it going?
Not bad, except for lunch. Baloney.
Shoe leather.
Well, I had pizza today. It sure was good. They make really good pizza here. I am stuffed. Say, I just happen to have 2 more pizzas. You guys wouldn't know anyone who would like a free pizza, would ya?
Sure, thanks.
Sure.
And here, I'll take these.
Thanks again, Lisa.
Thanks, Lisa. Oh, come on.
Jason. Jason! There's still time.
Give it up, Brooks. It ain't gonna happen.
Hey, Jason. I've been looking for you.
I'm sorry. No, really, I am.
Yeah, right.
I care, Jason.
Doesn't matter.
It could have been different.
You made your choice. I made mine.
Yo, listen. Hey, loser! We've got some unfinished business. Huh, what's this?
Give that back.
You know, a lot of people around here think you're a little creepy.
Yeah, it's time for you to find another school to put your ugly face in.
Looks like you got some fight in it. Hit me. Hit me. You know you want to. Hit me.
Look what we got here.
Huh. What's this?
None of your business. Looks like some sort of failed science experiment.
Yeah, you're probably right. Looks like you're going to get an F in science today.
Hi, Jason. I've been looking for you.
Katie, hi.
I have a question for you.
I'm a little busy right now.
But you did say I could come to you for answers. About philosophy class. When you think you're stuck and you have no options, what choice do you make?
You don't want to know.
Well, yes, I do.
I'm a little lost.
That's right. Yes, I do. And then you stare at her and see that she has a Bible.
Yes, ma'am.
My bad. I got confused. What's this?
Hey!
Just as I thought. The Bible. Won't get anything but lies out of this.
Chill out, Jason.
You want to know?
Well, for one thing, why did you throw Lisa's Bible in the trash?
Just put it where it belonged. With the other junk.
But I don't understand. Lisa said it had some pretty good stuff in it.
Lisa, dear Lisa. What must I do to rid myself of her and her righteous ways?
Jason,
This book represents...
Well, I go grab that.
This book represents everything I hate about Lisa and God.
but I thought you didn't believe in God.
I don't.
It's just a book, Jason.
She sure got you brainwashed.
Well, Lisa's okay. I'm sorry, line.
About philosophy
It's
class.
so about philosophy class. When you're stuck and think you have no options, what choice do you make?
I go my own way. I follow my own path and go wherever it leads me. I make my own choices. What don't you get? Look, you have the same choice. Join me if you want, or go your own way. I don't care.
Does it work?
What difference does that make? Look, my way may not be best. Sometimes I have regrets. Sometimes I'm afraid. Sometimes I worry that at the end, I won't find what I want. It just doesn't matter.
What about others? Don't they matter?
I don't care what they think. If they say I'm a fool, so be it. If they say I'll crash, maybe I will. They say I don't care. You know what? They're right. I don't.
So what choice do you make?
I go my own way. I make my own decisions, and I don't answer to anyone. Let me give you some advice.
What's that?
Stay out of the library today. It's not a good place to be.
Why? Jason! Well, hi, Mr. Brooks.
Oh, hi, Katie. could come see me by now.
I was going to, but I got caught up in some things.
How you doing? Still feeling lost?
Well, I haven't missed any classes so far.
Well, that's good. And what about those things you were looking for?
I guess you could say I made some progress. I just got done talking to Jason Holmes.
Oh?
I can't say I learned much, but he did get me thinking.
About what?
Mr. Brooks, there's got to be a better way.
I know what you mean. Following Jason and his advice is like having the blind lead the blind. You're going to fall down before you get very far. All right? Have you talked to Lisa Caldwell?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, my advice to you, Katie, is to listen to what she has to say, because she's got a good head on her shoulders. She knows what she's talking about. All right? I'd catch her while the catching is good.
Thanks. I'll do that.
Hi, Matthew. How's it going?
Okay, I suppose.
What are you up to?
Goodness, let's see. I'm up to the 3rd section in this chapter. Its title is John?
I think you mean the 3rd chapter of the book of John. Here, let me see if I can help. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Do you know what that means?
I'm not sure.
Do you want to know?
What I'd really like to know about is Jason Holmes.
Oh. What do you want to know?
Why is he so angry?
It has a lot to do with what you just read.
Why is that?
Not so long ago, Jason and I were a lot more alike than we were different. We thought we had our act together and that we wanted to live life by our own rules, that we didn't need help from anyone, especially not from God. But inside, I felt lonely, and I wanted that loneliness to end. Then I discovered something that caused me to take a different path.
What was it?
I learned that God loved, that he wanted a personal relationship with me, to walk alongside me and help me with my struggles in life. But my pride kept getting in the way. I denied that I needed God, and I tried to hide my sins from him. This just pushed me further away. The loneliness I felt was caused by my separation from God. I wanted that loneliness to end.
What did you do?
I learned that when Jesus died on a cross, he paid the penalty for my sin. God can now offer me forgiveness as a gift. But I had a choice to make. I had to decide whether to accept God's gift or to go on living without it. I had to decide whether to ask Jesus into my heart or to go on living as if I didn't need him.
What did you do?
I asked Jesus to come into my heart, and I accepted his gift of forgiveness.
Well, what about Jason?
Jason heard the same message of God's love that I did, but he didn't want to give up his own ways. He said no to God and rejected his love. He chose a life of anger and lived as if belief in God didn't matter. Jason's heart hardened. He began ridiculing me for turning my life over to God. I guess I was a constant reminder of his rejection of God and the truth he'd thrown away. Every time he saw me, his anger grew. He couldn't stand me or the things I believed in. His anger turned into hostility, and soon he ended up hating both me and God. But what's important now, Katie, isn't Jason. It's you. What path will you take?
Not Jason's.
Then what choice will you make?
I want Jesus.
Oh, Katie. Oh, I'm so glad. Let's pray for that right now. Dear Jesus, thank you for sending your son Jesus to die on the cross for our sins.
Thank you, Jesus, for dying on the cross for my sins.
Thank you for your gift of forgiveness. We want you to dwell in our hearts.
Thank you, Jesus, for forgiving me, and please, please come into my heart.
Amen.
Thanks, Lisa.
Katie, I'm so glad. There's so much I want to tell you, but right now I library. Do you want to come?
Sure.
If this were only a story, it would end right here. Lisa and Katie would go on to graduate high school, have families of their own, and live happy and wonderful lives. We'd never know about Jason. We'd cross our fingers. We'd hope that he'd straighten out someday. But real life does not always have a happy ending. Sometimes it ends in tragedy. Lisa and Katie don't make it out of high school. They don't even make it to the end of the day. As for Jason, he never does admit his need for God, and instead, acting on his hatred for God and for others, he goes on to kill several students. He then kills himself. Lisa and Katie are among the dead. The Bible says, "It is given unto man once to die, and then to face judgment. But Christ will come to those who are waiting for him."
Katie made the right decision just in time. All right, run ahead. I need to talk to Katie for a minute.
See you later, Katie. You're
Jesus?
Yes.
You're Jesus.
Yes. I knew it would take you a little bit longer to recognize me. You haven't known me as long as the others. But make no mistake, even though you didn't know it was me, Katie, I was here, walking the halls with you, standing beside you. I hurt when you hurt. And I did my best to send the right people into your life, like Lisa, to help you along. And I have never been more happy than when you trusted your life to me.
Thanks.
Why don't you run ahead? You and Lisa have a lot to talk about.
What about Jason?
It's too late for him. You chose a different path.
Hey, Lisa, wait up!
Oh. What happened? Where am I? Oh, God. What have I done? It's too late. Too late to get forgiveness. Too late to follow God. It's too late.